It's official. That was an amazing anime. I'm of course talking about none other than Tokyo Revengers. I mean, just everything about it. Like the storyline, the plot twist, all that stuff. It was just out of this world. This anime is way up there and one of the best that I've seen recently. And by far the best thing that I've seen all season. This is such an incredible anime. And so obviously I'm here to talk about it more today with y'all. Tokyo Revengers is a fantastic anime with an also equally as fantastic manga. I mean, the numbers show it all. It has sold over 25 million copies back in July. That is an outstanding number. To put in comparison, that is above Haruhi. That's above Food Wars. That's up there with like Assassination Classroom and Neon Genesis Evangelion. That's how many copies it sold. I mean, that is insane. That is a huge number. So obviously this manga is very successful, and the anime is also super successful. I mean, with an 8.3 something, putting it up in the 199th most popular anime of all time. That is above Fate Zero. That's above Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works Part 2. That's above Bunny Girl Senpai, the anime. I mean, this is way up there above some really just almost unanimously loved animes. So clearly this is an absolutely fantastic anime and equally as fantastic manga. But why is it like that? Well, the answer is quite simple. It's the story. It's out of this world. I mean, the plot twists, the story, everything about it. The characters are all so well developed and introduced at good times. The build up to events is fantastic. I mean, it's everything about this anime and manga, this story in general. Everything about the Tokyo Revengers story is just fantastic. I love the intensity that it gets sometimes. When they introduce someone who, like, they've been building up for a while and they show him off now. They're like, whoa, he's here now. Like, you feel the tension. The music and everything about it just fits so well together. So what is the story? Basically, you got Takemichi Hanagaki, and he is like 20-something years old, living in a trash-filled apartment, really just not living his best life. I mean, man peaked in like middle school. So he's clearly not doing too well. He works a minimum wage job with a boss that hates him, and it's just everything's going bad for him. Anyways, so he's in his apartment, he's watching the news, and he actually sees that his ex-girlfriend from middle school, along with a younger brother, were killed in a gang activity. They killed them. And that kind of bums him out. But, he continues to this day because, I mean, that was, it's sad, but you gotta keep on going. So he's going and he walks in front, towards, get onto the train. And classic, I mean, you've seen it 1,000 times, just a push right in front of it. And the man doesn't die though. It said the man wakes up 8 years or 10 years later. I mean, earlier or something like that. The man's back in middle school now, and he's like, what is going on? But he still has the knowledge of an adult. He's got all that knowledge, but now he's back in middle school. And he's got to now try to figure out how he can keep Hinata Tachibana, that's the ex-girlfriend, alive. That's his goal. Keep her alive. Find the future where she lives, because the man still got the hots for her, even if that's some... Okay, one quick pause from the story. Kind of weird. I mean, okay, mentally the dude's like late 20s, and he's out here in love with the girl who's like, what, 14 or some shit? Bro. Yo, Japan wild, man, I swear. That's some pedo shit, man. What the fuck? I digress, though. Basically, the guy's got to go back in time and find the future where she lives. And to do that, he ends up joining the Tokyo Manji gang, the gang that killed Hinata in the future. He joins them, and basically, that's just where it goes off. Goes from there. He's trying to, fix what he did back in the past, find a better future for himself, and it is fantastic. Because it's not just he goes in the past and now he's just going forward. No, he goes back and forth in this shit. And I'm not going to say any more because I don't want to spoil anything. But this is just a fantastic storyline. the idea of going back and forth in time and repeating shit, well, not really repeating shit, because you can't go back more. So there's no redos. Once you've done something, it's over. That's kind of different from ReZero. With ReZero, you go back, and then you keep going back to the same point until you get to another checkpoint. With this, time just keeps on moving. So the future and the past that Takemichi's still in can move at the same time. So he can go back up to here, but this time's still moving when he's in here now. It still goes. And shit's crazy. It's got some great funny moments, just every once in a while sprinkled in, just here and there, to just, you know, make things kind of nice. This is a fantastic anime. I cannot wait to read the manga, and the ending, which I'm not going to talk too much about right now because I have another video on that coming out shortly, was equally as fantastic. Everything about this is just incredible. If you have not watched this show, I highly recommend it. Drop what you're watching right now, get rid of that shit, and watch this. Now, I have heard that the pacing in the anime is not as good as the pacing in the manga. I don't care. It's still fantastic. I mean, I'm still going to read the manga from the beginning, and so I'll let you guys know what I think about the pacing. Personally, though, I think you gain so much from watching the anime. Just the music and everything like that really builds up the tension as needed. I'm sure that the manga is also fantastic. I mean, it's made by the guy who directed this whole world. So obviously it's going to be better than something that someone else interprets it. I mean, the manga is the raw product of the world. The anime is an interpretation of that. Usually it tries to be faithful. It interacts, or they talk to the author and shit that to make it as good as possible and make sure they're doing shit correctly. But it's not directly from the author. The author isn't out there directing and making that shit, most likely. But anyways, though, this is still a fantastic anime. The pacing, so I know I've heard that the manga's better. I don't care. It's still fantastic. I didn't see any issues with it watching it. I couldn't put the series down, man. Like, I would gladly binge that whole shit again. 100%. I would go through all 24 episodes in one sitting. I don't care, man. That shit was so good. So my final conclusion, if you couldn't already tell, is that this is an absolute 10 out of 10 masterpiece anime. It is so good, and we need another season. We need another season, but I'm not going to wait for that because I'm going to read the manga right now. In fact, I'm so tempted to buy all the manga, but it's going to be my entire next paycheck is going to be buying 20 volumes. I can't do that. I got shit I got to pay off and buy and stuff like that, so I can't do that. Wish I could, but not yet. So, anyways, though, this is Miss Senpai Supreme. Some of my latest videos are popping up on the screen right now. Go and check them out. I got anime reviews, manga reviews, and a whole bunch of other stuff. I've also got one other video about Tokyo Revengers coming out soon. I'll be doing a more in-depth video about the ending, just the ending, and it will 100% contain spoilers. So if you have not watched this series, do not watch the next video. If you have, be my guest. In fact, I'm going to welcome you there. I'm going to expect you there. And on that note, hope to see you all in the next video. Peace.
Hi everyone, this is the Boatman. I hear you aren't subscribed to Senpai Supreme on YouTube.com. If you are a real epic gamer and kawaii weeb, you will subscribe right now.